This is what Ur must have looked like in the second half of the 21st century BC, one of the earliest settlements in Mesopotamia. Here is the basic subdivision of the city. The area surrounded by water was the sacred area of Ur. The earliest records of the city date back to the 4th millennium BC and was founded by Meshani Pad. Its heyday is between 2112 and 2004 BC. The dynasty that experienced its greatest splendor in Ur is the 3rd dynasty founded by Urnamo. Ur was a great city founded by the Sumerians and by the 3rd millennium BC. Exerted considerable influence throughout the Middle East. In front of us is the sacred area and the Great Ziggurat. The Great Ziggurat of Ur dates back to 2112 BC, around the time of the 3rd dynasty, and is later than another ziggurat present at the site. Surrounding the sacred area were the houses of the inhabitants, one next to the other. The Ziggurat of Ur was erected by Urnamo between 2112 and 2095 BC, and was dedicated to Nana, the moon god. 3 flights of stairs made it possible to reach the top, and the middle one was reserved only for priests. The ziggurat was the center of religious and economic activity for the Sumerians and was probably meant to symbolize mountains. The royal tombs found at Ur have given us important information about Sumerian customs and mores. The best documented period of Ur is from 2900 BC to 2004 BC, and, according to some sources, Ur reached as high as 65,000 inhabitants. Between 2900 C and 2300 BC, the sacred area where the ziggurat is located began to develop. Within the area reserved, the ziggurat was accessed from a large courtyard. A large courtyard housed the ziggurat, which was accessed from this entrance. Like all Sumerian cities, Ur was an independent city-state and had dynasties, and, as mentioned above, with the 3rd dynasty, between 2112 and 2004 BC. Ur experienced its heyday, which coincided with the revival of Sumerian civilization after the conquest of the Akkadians. There was also the supposed home of Abraham. Being able to see Ar from above, we can notice the Giparu. The mausoleum of Shulgi, the tomb of the son of the great king Ur-Nammu. The Gananma, the Nana courtyard, and the Urzag, as well as the Ziggurat of Ur, a monument of which we have more information. Nana's yard was a place used perhaps for worship and storage, and nearby was Gumma, which was probably a warehouse. Then there was the Giparu, a place reserved for worship. The Giparu was a place reserved for worship, and there were also kitchens where food was prepared for offerings, and the Kurzag, which was a royal palace. Ur is named in the Bible as Ur-Kasdim, and the book of Genesis lists it as the birthplace of Abraham. Indeed, here we can see the hypothetical reconstruction of Abraham's house starting from the foundation of the remains of the building. Economic activities were varied and flourishing. Textiles were produced, and gold, ivory, silver, copper, and leather were traded. Ur fell to the Elamites in 2004, etc. After experiencing its heyday in 2004, etc. Ur was occupied by the Helamites, who were succeeded by the Babylonians, Kassites, Assyrians, and Neo-Babylonians, who ruled over the ancient and glorious city, which, however, was no longer able to achieve the splendor it had attained under the Sumerians. The famous Theod of Ur was found in the royal necropolis of Ur, which also provides valuable information regarding the Sumerian civilization. In the 5th century BC, the city had now lost all its former splendor, and the last evidence dates back to the 4th century BC. With the Seleucid domination of Mesopotamia, and from then on, the city was gradually permanently abandoned.